Today, I'm up at Willamette National Cemetery in Portland, Oregon, to visit the grave of Harve Bennett. We're going to do a quick walk up this little hill here to the grave locator machine to get the exact directions to his grave. And then I will share with you a little bit about Harve Bennett with some info I found on Wikipedia and various other online sites as we walk the cemetery grounds. Harve Bennett, television and motion picture producer, screenwriter. He will be best remembered for penning and producing the Star Trek film series. Harve Bennett was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1930. As a young boy, Bennett appeared on the radio program Quiz Kids, which introduced him to show business. By the time Bennett had reached college age, the radio business was in decline and he turned to the world of film. He entered the University of California in Los Angeles and graduated from their film school. Following his graduation from college in 1953, Bennett joined the United States Army. He served in the Military Police Corps based at the United States Disciplinary Barracks in Lompoc, California. He was honorably discharged in 1955 with the rank of corporal. Bennett then began his career as a production executive. He first worked at CBS in New York City and later moved to the programming department of ABC, becoming vice president of daytime programming. At ABC, he rose to become vice president of programming for a time. Following his work with ABC, Bennett moved over to production. His first project was to develop a television series with producer Aaron Spelling called The Mod Squad, which Bennett produced from 1968 until 1973. Following The Mod Squad, Bennett joined Universal Studios, where he produced a variety of television series and miniseries. The best known of these series are probably The $6 Million Man from 1973 to 1978, and The Bionic Woman from 1976 to 1978. Other series and miniseries he produced at Universal include Rich Man, Poor Man in 1976, The Invisible Man in 1975, and Gemini Man in 1976. Bennett then moved to Columbia Pictures Television, where he continued as a television producer, along with MGM TV employee Harris Cattleman, which was joint partner from 1977 to 1980. His projects at Columbia Pictures included the series Salvage One in 1979 and the miniseries The Jesse Owens Story in 1984. In 1980, only a few weeks into his contract with Paramount, Bennett was called to a meeting with then top executives at Paramount, Barry Diller and Michael Eisner, along with Charles Bluhdorn, hopefully I said that name right, who was then head of Paramount's parent Gulf Western. Bluhdorn, dissatisfied with the results of Star Trek the Motion Picture, was looking for someone new to take over the next film in the series. According to Bennett, Bluhdorn asked him what he thought of the first Star Trek film, and after Bennett said he found it boring, Bluhdorn asked him if he could make a better picture and if he could do it for less than $45 million. When Bennett said that he could, Bluhdorn said, "Do it," and he was hired. To prepare for the job of producing a Star Trek film, Bennett first screened all 79 episodes of the original Star Trek series in a projection room at Paramount. He was particularly drawn to the episode Space Seed. At the conclusion of the episode, Khan and his followers are exiled to an uninhabited planet, and James T. Kirk and Spock wonder what will become of them. This gave Bennett the hook. he was looking for and led him to develop a sequel to the episode. Bennett's idea formed the beginnings of what would become The Wrath of Khan. Bennett himself developed the original story and then worked with screenwriter Jack B. Sowards on the early drafts of the screenplay. Nicholas Meyer was later introduced to Bennett and completed the final drafts of the script. In addition to directing the film with Bennett as executive producer and Robert Salen as producer, Star Trek II proved to be an enormous success, both in terms of the box office receipts and fan response. Following the success of Star Trek II, Bennett served as producer on the next 3 Star Trek films: The Search for Spock, The Voyage Home, which for a long time stood as one of the most successful of the Star Trek films, and The Final Frontier. In addition to serving as producer, Bennett also wrote Star Trek III, co-wrote the story and screenplay for Star Trek IV, and co-wrote the story for Star Trek V. Bennett also made cameo appearances in Star Trek III as the voice of the flight recorder, and Star Trek V as a Starfleet Chief of Staff Admiral who gives Captain Kirk his orders. Following Star Trek V, Bennett developed an idea for a 6th Star Trek film that would take a different approach from the previous films, titled The Academy Years. It would have focused on the characters of Kirk and Spock when they were much younger and cadets at Starfleet Academy. It would have delved into the early relationships between these characters and shown how they developed such a close friendship over the years. While William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy would have had cameos at the beginning and end of the film to bookend the story in flashback form, new actors would have portrayed most of the roles in the film, including the young Kirk and Spock. Although Paramount was initially enthusiastic about the idea, feedback from fans was almost universally negative over a Star Trek film without the established actors that fans had come to know and love. Also, Martin Davis, who at the time was the head of Gulf and Western, wanted a film featuring the original cast to mark Star Trek's 25th anniversary in 1991. Paramount offered Bennett the opportunity to produce this film with the original cast, even offering to produce his Academy film afterward. But Bennett declined, citing multiple reasons, including a lack of story ideas for the requested film and the rushed time frame in which the film would have to be completed in order to coincide with the Star Trek's 25th anniversary. This marked the end of Bennett's association with the Star Trek franchise, and shortly thereafter he left Paramount. While working at Columbia Pictures TV, Bennett was also brought to Paramount Pictures to work in their television division, producing television series. One of his first productions for Paramount was a television miniseries for Paramount Domestic Television, A Woman Called Golda, in 1982, which was Ingrid Bergman's final role and which co-starred Leonard Nimoy. After producing the Star Trek films, Bennett wrote the television movie Crash Landing: The Rescue of Flight 232 in 1992. He co-created and produced the science fiction television series Time Tracks in 1993 to 1995, and produced the animated miniseries Invasion America in 1998, for which Nimoy was a voice actor. Willamette National Cemetery is a pretty big cemetery. Harve Bennett's grave is on Mount Hood Drive in the back of the cemetery. He's located in Columbarium Court 6 section, row 800. I had to make some notes just to make sure, because the grave locator machine, when I first came in here, it didn't have paper in it, so I wasn't able to get a printout, so I took some notes. But almost there. the side of the 800 there. Harve Bennett passed away on February 25th of 2015, which was just 2 days before that of actor Leonard Nimoy, who played Spock on Star Trek. What a weird coincidence. Same year, just 2 days apart. Nimoy passed away on February 27th of 2015. May they both rest in peace. Harve Bennett passed away in Medford, Oregon due to a burst embolism in his small intestine and a second one found in his lung. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in remembering Harve Bennett and visiting his grave. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and live long and prosper.